Hi everybody, I'm doing the 1-year update thing because it's pouring out and it's close enough to me having the car for a year. It'll be a year and 4 days. So this is going to be pros, cons, would I buy the car again, why do I still have it, that kind of stuff. I'm going to talk to you instead of at you. Yes, Matt, I'm copying you. I still want to drive your Fiesta. But anyways, hi everyone, yes, it's me. Sorry I'm not cool like Emmy Hall, but whatever. From Roadfly TV. But, hi, and, okay, so let me start with the pros of this car. Yeah, I'm a terrible presenter, that's why you never see me doing this. What do I like about the car after a year of ownership? Everything I liked about it when I bought it. I love the refined, smooth engine. I love the exterior styling. I love the interior styling. I love the interior materials, the build quality. I love the steering. I love the chassis. I love the handling. I love the ride quality. I love the gas mileage, comfort, the seats. I like a lot the intelligent access from the titanium model. There are many, many things I absolutely love about this car, but that brings me on to the downsides. I'll save the big ones for last, which are the Myford touchscreen and the Powershift transmission. There isn't much to hate about this car. Only a couple little design, well, they're flaws, but a couple little design things. Most of them involve, well, whatever, storage. I don't want to call this area wasted space because I think it's cool. It gives you like a cockpit feeling, but in this entire area there is no storage. All you have is these cup holders here and this here. I wish this was two-tiered like my Milan. Some of you may want this to slide. It's fine for me, but at least it's padded and stitched, so it looks nice. The door bins are good. The other annoying thing is the glove box. It's got a bunch of weird shapes, and if anything gets stuck over in this part, it won't close. The owner's manual falls out of the holder all the time, so I hate the glove box. But if that's the only thing I, of all people, can come up with to bitch about, then that's pretty darn good. Especially for how much this car costs, which is about $23,500. So the big downsides, Myford Touch and this. Myford Touch is not difficult to use, if you ask me. I think it's very easy to use. I love the design of it. But mine has obviously been hideously unreliable for those of you who have followed the channel for a while. So that's a downside, is the system's software reliability. This has a brand new Myford Touch unit. The dealer ended up ripping the old one out and putting a new one in. So it's been okay so far, so fingers crossed. Now the big controversial thing about the new Focus is the 6-speed Powershift transmission. This is a dual clutch automated manual transmission. By itself, it's okay. It can stumble over itself in drive at lower speeds. You do get a little bit of clutch chattering, which is not acceptable in any car when you're pulling away from a stop. You do get these annoying shift flares in between gears as well. So for the compact class, compared to everything else, it's not too bad. But when your other car in the garage is your mom's 2010 Volkswagen Jetta Wolfsburg Edition, which has the same powertrain as the Volkswagen GTI, for the same price, and you see just how good this type of transmission can be, it leaves you very, very disappointed with the performance of this one. You're just like, ugh, really? So, on its own, it's alright, but when you're comparing it to something like that, which I'm used to driving, this is going to be a disappointment for you. But when it is actually in gear, you do get that nice kind of direct drive feeling because it is a manual transmission underneath. So in that regard, it can be fun to drive, especially if you put it in sport mode. Sport mode fixes a lot of the shifting problems, but keep in mind that sport mode does lock you out of 6th gear. So if you want to leave it in one mode, you're not going to have 6th gear for, the big overdrive gear. You can manually do it in manual mode, but just sport mode, you won't have 6th gear. So, why did I buy the car? Okay, so here's the story. My brother's Taurus died, and the torque converter went. So I traded that in, put a little bit of money down on a new leased vehicle. So I came up with a price point of $23,000. Now, I like my cars loaded up with stuff. Yes, I'm picky. That's why I don't give car buying advice, because I hate everything and I'm really, really picky. Just throwing that out there, because some people think I'm ungrateful, but aside from work and school, my life revolves around cars, so I want my car to be as perfect as possible, because I love cars so much. And that's, that's what I want to spend my money on, having a nice car without going broke. So, where was I going with this? Okay, so, this is what I was looking for. About $23,000 price range. What I prioritize is fun to drive. Number one, has to be fun to drive. Now, you might say, well, you used to own a Mercury Milan, Eric, that's for old people. Yes, it is, but it's also a modified Mazda 6 platform, so it did not embarrass itself in the corners and actually drove pretty well. It's fun to drive. So it doesn't have to be a sports car, but it needs to be able to handle. So it had to be fun to drive, had to have a premium interior, because, again, I'm a bitch, but had to have a premium interior, had to have a wonderful chassis, get pretty good gas mileage, and so I've had to narrow it down to the compact class, because you can't get a mid-size sedan with a lot of features for 23 grand. It also has to work in the snow, so I couldn't buy a base model Ford Mustang or something stupid like that, or any kind of performance car with performance tires on it, because I couldn't afford a winter tire package this time around. So it had to have all seasons, decent sidewall compliance, because the roads in Vermont are shit. So I narrowed it down to the compact class, and for fun to drive cars in the compact class, there ain't much. There's the Ford Focus, the Mazda 3, and the Volkswagen Golf. Notice I didn't say Jetta, because the new Jetta sucks, because of all the cost cutting that Volkswagen did. Thankfully, the Passat was not as affected by that, so. But not to get off track, so those three cars, why didn't I buy the Golf? Couldn't afford the diesel, so it was either gas hog 5-cylinder or nothing. Didn't want the gas hog 5-cylinder. There's also no features in the Golf. Holy crap, is there no features in the Golf. So that was a no. The Mazda 3, that was the runner-up. I did test drive an S model with a manual transmission. It's pretty fun to drive, but it looks ridiculous. Yeah, that sounded mean. I thought it looked silly. Kind of like a clown car. I wasn't too thrilled with the interior. It was solid enough, but it was just drab and dreary. The materials weren't fantastic. It was loud. The engine wasn't particularly loud, but the road noise was. So between those things and... Oh, did I mention it was a gas hog? It's a gas hog. 22 city, 29 highway. That is 6-cylinder gas mileage. Okay? It wasn't gonna... No, didn't want that. This car gets 27 city, 37 highway by the EPA. I get 35 miles per gallon with it in the summertime. So I got the Focus. I get a ton of features. I got intelligent access with push-button start, dual-zone climate control, all these wonderful things for the same price. So I'm like, hell yeah. So that's why I had the Focus. Oh, why didn't I get the hatchback? I didn't need one, and I liked the taillights on the sedan better because they look like the Mondeo, and I love the Mondeo in Europe. Why didn't I get an SE Sport with the manual? Because it didn't have all the titanium features. Didn't have these sport seats, didn't have the performance suspension you get, it didn't have dual zone climate control, love dual zone climate control, and you couldn't get the Sony audio system. I didn't really want my Ford Touch. I didn't really need it. I wanted the Sony premium audio system. But in this country, you are forced, it's paired with my Ford Touch, regardless of trim level, SEL or titanium. So I wanted the Sony system. I didn't necessarily need my Ford Touch. That was just one of the fun things it came bundled with. So yeah, I guess that's my year-long update. You guys know all the hellish problems I've had with my Ford Touch. Once Ford releases something reliable, it should be fine. There's another software update coming out for the transmission. On a final note, if I could change stuff about this car, I would give it the 1.6-liter EcoBoost engine and a 6-speed manual transmission. That would be perfect. Perfect. But shit ain't perfect. This is pretty darn close. So thanks guys for watching, and I will catch you later. Bye!